Hello YouTube. This young man was killed in Manchester, England, when he came there to continue his studies. So let's get started. Let's first talk about Anuj Bidve. He was born on July 18, 1988 and was a young man from Myuu, India. He came from a very loving and united family and was a really brilliant student. He had many high grades and dreamed to become a microelectronics engineer. He so went at the Lancaster University. Added to that, he liked having new friends, and this boosted his creativity even more. He settled for that life very well, and most of his friends were from India. On December 2011, many students went back home for the Christmas holidays. Unfortunately for Anuj and his friends, the plane ticket for India is too expensive, so they decided to spend the holidays together. The drama. Few days before Christmas, they traveled to Manchester to visit the town and to spend Christmas there. They had a great time. On Christmas Day, they decided not to sleep but to go window shopping and walk around Manchester. It was around 1 a.m. They arrived at Ordsall Lane and noticed two boys across the road. One of the two boys was crossing the road and asked them the time. One of his friends answered him. Without saying a word, the boy takes a gun from his pocket, places it at Anuj's head and pulls the trigger. Anuj collapsed to the ground. They brought him to the hospital and there he was pronounced dead. The aftermath. After the tragedy, the police arrived at the hospital to question Anuj's friends. Given the speed of the action, none of them really noticed the killer's face. There was little information gathered. They said it was a white man with a grey top, and that the killer's friend was also a white man with a black jacket. Very quickly, the news spread while the police did not yet want to give information for fear that the killer would burn the few clothes that were used to recognize him. The media also posted false information saying that Anuj was at fault and this is what led the man to kill him. Police believed the crime was opportunistic. The killer didn't go out that night just to kill someone, but just because he could at that moment. The police also said it was possible that it was also racially motivated. Anuj's friends posted their stay in Manchester on social media. It was through these posts that Anuj's family found out his death. The investigation. The police conducted an autopsy on Anuj to find out which weapon the killer used. After 3 days, they arrested 5 suspects. They are all between 16 and 25 years old and look like the description given by Anuj's friends. 5 days after Anuj's death, 4 suspects were released. Kieran Stapleton, a 20-year-old, lives in Ordsall Lane. The police have collected all the recordings from the cameras in this area. They found 2 young men matching the description on the camera recordings, but due to the poor quality, it is impossible to really be sure of their identities. The only thing that convinced them that the murderer was Kieran was the teardrop tattoo he got. The number teardrop tattoo means the number of people killed. In addition to this, the police discovered that after the murder, Kieran stayed in a hotel very close to the murder site, from where you can even see the murder location and the investigation that took place. The police concluded that Kieran is the killer. All that remains is to find a friend who was with him. The police quickly found his identity, Ryan Holden. When questioned, Ryan told the police that he was afraid of Kieran because he was dangerous. The police reassured him and he begins to say that Kieran had just broken up with his girlfriend. He was very angry and wanted to vent his anger on someone. He also told that the day of the murder, he and Kieran just walked on the street when they saw a group of guys on the other side of the road. Kieran said, "Wait for me there," and he stopped and saw him cross the street. He said that he just saw Kieran pulling a gun from his pocket and then shoot one of the guy. After, Kieran said, "Run!" Ryan panicked and just ran. The family. Anuj's parents came to England and attended to all the trials. They watched and visited the scene at Orsa Lane, lighting a candle, laying flowers and cards, and saying prayers for him. Seeing so many people bringing flowers to their child warmed their hearts. They brought Anuj's body back to their country. On Friday, July 27, 2012, Stapleton was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 30 years before he is eligible for parole. Mr. Justice King, the trial judge, said Stapleton had committed a truly wicked act, was highly dangerous and posed a high risk of serious harm to other people. He told Stapleton, "In my judgment, this was no impulsive act on your part. It was a piece of cold-blooded, controlled aggression." And that's it. It's the story of an innocent man brutally killed by a psycho. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the notification bell to receive other incredible stories. Until next time.